Thursday, January 5th edition of The Real KNC. Ken Laird.
Chris Curtis.
Christian Arcan, Candyman appearance today.
The Candyman.
I'm the Candyman.
Shake up, huh? From our normal routine.
Right now, he's getting his electrolyte drink from Tom Brady to get through the big day.
Yeah, I had this lemon drink with a ton of electrolytes in it. It doesn't have any sugar.
He's got 2 shifts. He only mentioned it about 35 times.
I just don't think anyone has ever done it before.
I mean, come on, Christian. You're in here for 4 hours. We've got guys outside in 20-degree weather, building a New Balance wing.
Mutt's done that shift before. Mutt's done our show and then come back to do 6 to 10, right?
He wanted a plaque.
I figured that maybe would have been something that was up on a plaque somewhere, maybe.
He wanted all this shit.
Christ, what a diva.
I mean, he didn't talk for hours at a time this morning, so I guess he was resting his voice.
Plus, he has Rear Admiral on with him like 4 hours a week.
Is that by his own doing?
What kind of gifts do you want?
He elects to have the rear in?
Why would you not?
Here's a veteran move. You must have a DVR, right?
Of course.
You pause the DVR when you got to go do a couple errands around the house or go to the bathroom, and then you come back and then you hit play, and then you can just fast forward through all the commercials for the rest of the duration of whatever you're watching.
True.
Then you could. I hate commercials, man. I absolutely do not watch them.
Really?
Fair point.
Wouldn't say Candyman was the focus of the show today or the headliner. That would be, of course, 8:30. Well designed by Chris Curtis.
Good job, Curtis.
Randy Miller of NJ.com, v. Kurt Schilling.
When I talk to former Phillies and I talk to executives and I talk to Arizona people and they tell me he was the worst teammate they ever had.
Speaking of friends of yours, we have a friend of yours on the line. It's the man himself, the scumbag, Kurt Schilling. Hey, Kurt.
I have a problem with people that lie and people that don't have a spine to stand up for the things that they say when they get confronted on them.
Yeah, that was outstanding. And I like everything in this building. The credit begins with Kirk Minahan for crazy feuds.
Naturally.
I don't want to start that right now. It's 27 minutes after
Move
the
your
hour.
finger
We can
and
tease
order
that
me
and
to-
come back to it.
And yesterday, he sent us a note, I don't know, mid-afternoon, saying, let's get this guy on. So reached out to him. Stick tap to Randy Miller for agreeing to come on.
Yes.
Yesterday, I was complaining that these people tend not to.
Which Kirk went out of his way after the interview to give Randy his props.
All right, Randy, we appreciate you coming on and fighting with us. We appreciate that. We'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
No, it's great. Oh gosh, he got yelled at on the radio. Randy can go on with his day now, whatever. So at least he came on.
What, coming on your iPod?
Once we got going, I didn't want to have both on at the start because then, Randy would sort of feel like it was a setup or something. So we let Randy sort of dig a little bit, call out Schilling, a true scumbag.
Should I really put this guy over the top who is a scumbag?
We had Schilling on hold, ready to pounce.
Well, to be fair, Schilling said, I want to hear him for a while, right?
Right. So Schilling, about a minute in, or 2 minutes in, whatever, I called Kurt, and he said, and he was listening to it, you could hear it in the background. He's like, I got this on.
He needs a punch in the throat.
And so he said, yeah, let me listen for another minute. Let's have this guy dig further. And then we put him on about, 4 minutes in, 4 minutes into the interview.
For those who aren't aware of what we're discussing, of course, Randy Miller is yet another non-Schilling Baseball Hall of Fame voter based on character clause.
It's my vote's character clause.
In this case, a little different from the others, different from the Shaughnessy, different from the Mike Carrington, etc. Although he cited recent behavior, but really, it seems like when pressed, his issue was with scumbag behavior while he was a player. At least he claims other players have told him that.
Yeah, I would say of all the insane rationale to keep Kurt out of Cooperstown, John Heyman's dog Thanksgiving story is still the leader in the clubhouse. But Randy Miller today made no sense.
Well, if there were legions of players and executives who told him all these anecdotes of bad behavior from Schilling, I guess.
Again, it has nothing to do with whether I like him or not. Nothing. It's when I talk to former Phillies and I talk to executives and I talk to Arizona people and they tell me he was the worst teammate they ever had. And I say to them, do you think I should vote for him for the Hall of Fame? And they look and say no. And I hear this again and again and again last year. It gets you to thinking.
But he voted for him knowing all of this. It's not as though Schilling's reputation as a Philly in the 90s was somehow recently tarnished.
Yeah, he basically said he changed his mind, right?
I'm allowed to rethink things.
Hey, he did his job. He wrote something that got read. I'm sure we sent thousands of people to that website to read it.
Sure.
He came on, took a beating, win-win.
Chad Finn didn't like too much talking over one another. Did you find that to be irritating?
No, there was
Or
no other
accurate?
way to do it because you couldn't have the...
I mean, Finn's take to be irritating.
Oh, yeah. He's a phony. I mean, if that exact scenario were done on any other show and any other day part in this market, it would have been praised. Quadruple stick taps. So whatever. Nobody knows who he is. He's irrelevant.
You like me on Facebook.
I do?
Yeah, you do.
On Facebook?
Yeah, you do.
Do I really?
Yeah.
When there's two people on the phone through our board, it's hard for them to hear each other. So it's not as though they could just have a conversation. You needed to have Jerry and Kirk sort of refereeing.
You've got to have a moderator.
Right. And so I thought it could not have been handled better, in my opinion.
Candyman faded away, but as he should have.
Right. I think the Candyman knew his role there, and he was also resting because he has another radio show coming up at 10 p.m. tonight that he had to prepare for.
That will pick up some steam. Do you feel it'll be a national sort of reaction?
Yeah, well, the NJ.com editor just called me about 20 minutes ago looking for the audio, so I'm sure they'll post it there. And then anything New York, Philly, Boston, media, shilling, anything like that usually goes viral. So I bet it'll be picked up this afternoon.
Good. Now, that was the focus of 8:30. Prior to that, at 8 o'clock, we had a little bit of a drama-filled Tom Brady press conference that never happened.
What's going on at 8:10? Why do I never know anything's going on around here? What's going on at 8:10?
This was, I could sense it today because I felt good this morning. And the worst thing you can feel in this job at this show with these people is good. Because I knew something shitty was going to happen today. I woke up, I was out of bed, I got here on time, everything was... I was feeling good.
It turns all your bad feelings into good feelings. It's a nightmare.
I liked the show we had planned. Everything was coming together. And I completely forgot to mention to them the Tom Brady situation.
And the Rockets!
Which was, yesterday afternoon, I got this email chain and discussion about we have to take the Brady press conference because it's happening in the morning and not in the afternoon, and there's a sponsor read. It slipped my mind.
I forgot about Sal Carpaccio.
And we're now going to the top of the hour, and you mentioned, we got this coming up, and I just get into Kirk's ear that we have Brady at 8:10, and he had no clue what I was talking about.
I got into his ear.
Oh, you got into his ear.
And he said, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
And now, I had told you before the show, we had talked about the possible conflict with Randy Miller and the Brady interview.
Right.
And you said, don't worry about it. We're doing the Miller interview.
I guess in my mind that I was hoping that the Brady situation would be during the Randy Miller interview so we wouldn't have to deal with it. That's sort of how I stored it away in my mind. Amenities, is that how you pronounce it? Amenities?
Yes.
No. I fucked up because if I had just told them this morning at 5:45, like, hey, we have to do this Brady thing in the 8 o'clock hour, they wouldn't have been pissed because they don't dislike doing the Brady, pressers that go in and out of it relatively quickly.
Yeah, I assumed they were in the know.
And I just forgot this morning. So the worst thing you can do with Kirk is not inform him about something.
Did you know that?
I did not. It's the first I heard of it. I
I
would have
didn't
waited
even know
to
he
eat
was talking to
breakfast.
But why do I never know these things?
Doubly worst thing you can do to Kirk is follow it up and compound the situation by giving a shitty answer.
Our moronic, stupid, idiotic, I hope he is getting divorced, Chris Curtis, producer who sucks, so I hope jumps off a friggin' cliff, came in here as... Paul and Doug said we have to. Paul and Doug said we have to do the press conference.
And I did that in flying colors today because the people that had contacted me about this were Doug Lane and Paul Chartier.
Paul, you're a dope.
Heavy hitters.
Oh, I mean, it's like David Field, Doug Lane, Paul Chartier.
Yes, the company
Zarbano.
hierarchy, yes.
Yes. They were instructed to be telling me to do this by, I assumed, Zarbano. So I just sort of went with it. So in the break, when Kirk demanded my presence in the studio to give me my lashing, I told him those names, and that just said it off the top.
Our new program director, Paul Chartier, will hopefully see him, and
Yes.
Doug Lane.
The top of the 8 o'clock hour was a well-deserved beatdown by Kirk Minahan.
You were
to
rattled. The
myself.
last 2 hours, you were very rattled. I don't understand. Why I don't think it was that egregious of a lashing.
No, I was pissed at myself. I wasn't mad at them. I was just mad that I couldn't believe that it's something so simple. But then, of course, 2 minutes later, I got a phone call from Doug Lane saying they're not doing the press conference.
Right. I think they just announced he's not going to be available.
What? Is that true?
Yes.
So something that would have been totally avoided and not even been a story, I somehow managed to fuck up and make a topic, which was good for the show in terms of, some energetic back and forth between the guys and me. But I was just frustrated that I just hadn't thought of it.
Also of note today, of course, we had Bomani Jones.
You know, and I know.
And Israel Gutierrez.
It's Boston. Gordon Hayward looks more like Larry Bird than other players in the league.
Making some veiled racist Boston references yesterday on their respective outlets. Our conversation set the dialogue for the city, I would say. Other stations have glommed onto this, and of course, they're going to be a big talker today. But we had the Bomani Jones audio right out of the gate. We got to that about 6:30 this morning, I would say, and nailed that for about 2 segments.
So I thought the open today was fantastic. It included everything that we were getting into, and it had that Bomani sound that we grabbed this morning. And I think Kirk and Jerry were at their best on this to start the show. That these idiots can just lob bombs, call people the worst thing you can possibly call someone.
P word?
It's not funny.
No, not the P word. But no, it's like they just go on and they...
R word.
Yeah, the R word.
Ah.
Not the R word I was called later in the show.
Redneck?
Yes. Anywho. Yes. So, no, it's amazing to me that they can just go on TV, spout these comments, and go unchallenged.
What a race-baiting, one-note, talentless dickweed. I mean, Jesus.
And, and Bomani Jones has made an entire career off of it.
You know, and I know exactly why Gordon Hayward gets those claps in Boston.
These shows pop up where, honestly, no matter who the third person today was, it was going to be a Jerry and Kirk dominated show. They had strong opinions on this.
Hey, throw around the accusation of racism and they generalize the whole city so cavalierly. It's like talking about someone's funny haircut or something.
Tuesday
It's
night.
like, they're all racist.
It's racist night at the Garden. All the families and parents and everybody rolls in. We all hate black people.
We get a white hood when you come in.
And by the way, it's all white people at the game, of course. We all go in and
It's a good point. You ever see the crowd? It's a pretty diverse crowd.
Pretty diverse.
These days.
You go in and you cheer for the white guy because black skin is something that we hate.
A topic right up our wheelhouse as a show, and it was something that would have been a serious talker no matter who the third person was in today.
Yeah, I think Arcand was fine, but it was not his day to shine necessarily based on the subject matter.
No, and I think he did a good job of staying out of the way.
We had some Tom Brady issues to get to. We did a feel-good 9:30 segment where Jerry was praising Tom for his handwritten letter.
Yeah, a feel-good story, and then this Under Armour pajama thing it's one of I never know what they're going to read and what they're going to react to, really. Some days, I'll print something out and I'll think nothing of it, and they'll lead the show with it. And other days, I'll think that the story is going to be, I'll have you get sound ready, I'll talk to whoever the intern of the day is and be like, we got to get ready for this, and they never touch it. But today, right before they got in, I found this story on Tom Brady's pajamas.
The technology behind it emits far infrared. The far infrared, when it's against your skin, ends up reducing inflammation. Well, we initially used a bioceramic with certain acute injuries and thought that this would provide incredible benefits if it was embedded in the sleepwear.
I printed out, and during the show, they even teased something, saying we're going to praise Tom Brady for something and we're going to rip him for something.
Right.
Under Armour Athlete Recovery Sleepwear powered by TB12.
That's a great
recovery
name.
sleepwear.
And they actually have a picture of Brady sleeping.
The thing is an entire scam. It's a money-grabbing scam.
I would love something that helped you sleep. I mean,
Well, how's that going to help you sleep, Jerry?
I don't
mean,
know.
I know you love Brady, so do I. You put on pajamas. How's that going to help you sleep?
I think Kirk is right that Brady at some point is going to get in some trouble with these off-field promises and different merchandise he sells.
Do we want to tease our guest for tomorrow?
Yeah,
You worked
sure.
very hard to get, because now behind the scenes, Chris has been working hard to get some more trolls. Would you say Randy Miller was a troll today?
Perfect troll.
It's not Deflategate whack-a-troll, but it's a whack-a-troll nonetheless.
Silvers was a troll earlier this year on Brady. I think it's just anybody that just is absolutely wrong, has no facts to back it up, and comes on anyway, and we mock them. No, we have Jake O'Donnell from Sports Grid tomorrow, 9:40. Had some serious negotiations with him after the show.
What is he doing? He was like,
he had 16 different excuses, and then finally he wanted to do it now, and we can't because the guys are obviously gone. 9:40, he wrote the piece calling the city of Boston racist, talking about the Jay Crowder situation, so you won't want to miss it. End our week with a nice whack-a-troll at 9:40 tomorrow.
At the very frequently visited Sports Grid.
I went on Pro Football Sports, okay?
I never even visited. The guys talked about this in the 6 a.m. hour today, and I didn't listen yesterday on one of the shows that was talking about it. Wasn't tuned in at the time. I honestly can't tell you if I'd ever been to this website.
I'm sure we've sent plenty of traffic their way. He must be loving this. He owes this favor.
He sounded he was tired. I think we got him out of bed this morning, but hopefully he'll be ready to go tomorrow. It should be good. Kirk,
He's a Tomasi type. He's a 10 a.m. wake up.
Yeah, I actually heard Mario Kart playing in the background.
Mario Kart.
What else is going on? Oh, we got some good news for the guys. They're bitching about the microphones yesterday.
Well, I can't. I have to slouch in my seat. This studio was designed for Ordway.
Right.
Designed for small people.
Did you know this?
So if I sit,
tell
me how this sounds. If I sit like I normally
Actually sounds
sit.
pretty good.
This does not go up. The microphone in this state-of-the-art studio.
Right.
And today, to some extent, has started to move the ball slowly up the hill. Engineering is going to replace their mic stands. They have said they're going to make some changes. It's worked. Kirk and Jerry bitch. They get their due.
Yeah, they did this a couple years ago. I don't even know. The days all come together. But a couple years ago, I think, our studio was filthy. I mean, like inches of just dust caked onto things.
You could see it. You would take pictures in there, and you could see the crud just like crawling off things.
I'm that guy. I like to go get my hands dirty.
And so one morning, I don't know, somebody noticed it or brought it up again, and they just went on a rant for about 15 minutes about how disgusting the studios were.
I will not have this in my studio.
Boom. Next thing you know, they were cleaned professionally, and I think that was the last time they were cleaned until the new studios came in. But at least they carry some weight.
Lose some weight, baby girl.
Now, I don't know when this will happen. This will be a, talk is cheap.
I was told Aloha Bowl 2017.
The next time BC's in a bowl game.
Words, folks, the BC fans have longed to hear.
Oh, I should mention this. How about Minahan throwing us under the bus for being critical of Jerry's 3
Oh, my God.
Girl
Thank
Scout
you for
cookies?
bringing this up.
What a gutless... I shouldn't say that. Kirk's the best. Love Kirk. But, this bothered Minahan in the back room. Then we come on the air, and boy, it's doesn't dare challenge Jerry on the air with this.
They were critical of you for only getting 3 boxes of Kate's Girl Scout cookies yesterday, which I had no problem with.
3? What's what? That's not enough.
I had no problem with it.
Red light Kirky there.
Red light Minahan today. Didn't want to go hard after the king.
I don't think Kirk wanted to delve too deeply. I think he felt bad that he shamed all of us into getting Girl Scout cookies in the first place.
If Dino were here, Dino would have bought several hundred boxes. Now, we had some Dino tweets make an appearance today. Dino has been on a media-wise tour. It appears that his next journey in life is to be a media, how would you call it, coach?
Oh, yeah. He wants to be like the Nick Saban of media.
If you need a corporate event host, keynote speaker, or sports-based entertainment, http://JohnDennisMediawise.com.
The incoming White House press secretary is Sean Spicer. Dino has been reaching out to him, as we found out on the famous Dino tweets.
If you're not going to say anything else, shut up and read.
Dino
here we go.
tweet. At Sean Spicer. Congrats, Sean. I am former co-host of WEEI's Dennis and Callahan show. Please follow me for direct message. I have something important, not seeking access.
So we got a chance to listen in. But one of the things that I did notice, a critique of Arcan today, the beauty of the Dino tweet, sometimes it's very inside. If you don't really know the show and its history and you're just listening, you're not really sure what the Dino tweets are. But I think Kirk and Jerry's reaction to them is just always priceless. So what I like is when the Dino tweet ends, there's just silence and their laughter. Arcan stepped on that a bit today. I don't know if you noticed that at both occasions.
He did. Well, he viewed it as the door was open for him finally to speak because they both weren't speaking. But
that's a rookie mistake.
Access.
You may remember me from such morning shows.
Rookie mistake.
That bothered me. Those were the 2 moments that the Candyman bothered me.
Yeah, you got to let those things breathe because we actually had speaking of coaching, we had a game plan for the Dino tweets today because we had multiple.
It was double-barreled Sean Spicer.
So our plan was we're going to play the first one.
Yes.
Let them react. As they're reacting and laughing, throw them the again tweet to Sean Spicer from Dino.
But he's got a relationship now with Sean Spicer, so I think he's got some big things going on now.
A Dino tweet. Again, at Sean Spicer. Please follow me for an important and helpful direct message. I am not seeking access. Just want to share a great idea. Hashtag socks. Hashtag pats. Hashtag WEEI.
Who's doing those? That's Kingston.
Arcan went off sides.
Like a good color analyst, you don't step on the play-by-play guy right after a touchdown. You got to let the natural crowd noise breathe a little bit. Candyman jumped all over it. He ruined the call. Hey, Candyman! Now, part of it maybe is my fault. Perhaps I should have instructed him of this beforehand. Do you think I take some blame in this?
Zero blame. We take blame when it's due. I took plenty of blame earlier in this podcast, and I deserved every ounce of it. In this case, the blame solely falls on the Candyman.
Like I could have gotten his ear and said, Arcan, shut the hell up. Don't say anything when this finishes. But that's a little invasive.
Yeah, I think that would have maybe rattled him a bit.
Anyway, it was pretty good execution, but it could have been better. I can't say I was perfect today. For some reason, at 9:30, we came back in from a break, and it was just dead air. Like I was trying to play the Brady ad that you had saved off, and the whole system crapped on me. It just froze.
With a good night.
Why do I have dead air? What's going on here?
Yeah, that used to happen to Sausage, and he used to just absolutely lose his mind. But I saw it. You hit play. I don't know what the fuck happened with our system. Maybe they
stopped right in the middle.
Maybe they were working on the processing of our news boss and didn't tell.
Maybe I fucked up. I don't know what happened, but that was not a good look.
Anyway,
Kirk was out of here. All right, we're out of here. Dinner last night went well with chicken marsala.
Oh, chicken marsala, absolutely delicious. I actually ended up with homemade mashed potatoes, slow cooker.
Ooh.
Delicious instead of rice. And the wife was very happy.
That's a lie.
I moved into the upstairs couch.
Multi-level establishment over in Southie?
Yeah, 2
Basement?
floors. Basement and...
Man cave?
Yeah, sort of a man cave. Yeah, office man cave.
You and Pudgy been staying down there?
That's where we've been hanging. I got a little mini fridge and a microwave just to
Plans for tonight or no?
Tonight,
cooking plans.
Tonight, I have one job today, and it is to harass as many ESPN personalities as I possibly can and get them on the show. So
Jackie McMullen's part of that Around the Horn show.
Yeah, but Jackie McMullen's not going to come on and rip it. She gets paid by them. She talked to Kirk on his podcast saying that she likes it and likes Tony. I don't think she'd come on.
Do we want Reale on? I mean, he probably would come on.
That's the wild card. But the thing with Reale is he was talking with Reamer last night on Twitter. I think he'd just come on and say, I was just asking the question, and I don't know where you go from there.
1 point for your troubles.
I guess they could do a little bit. I mean, he might be a little feisty,
And the others were just silent. Like Sarah Spain was silent.
Well, Sarah Spain
nodding,
agreed.
But she might have been agreeing with Frank Isola. I don't know if she was agreeing with...
No, because Reale says, I know other people wanted to say something. Anybody want to chime in about race or whatever? And she was, I don't know. My sense was that she was agreeing.
Anybody want to address what Israel said before, that Gordon Hayward, what you say? Israel looks more like Larry Bird than...
More
Jake
like Larry
Crowder?
Bird than other guys in the league did.
Does that ring a bell in anybody's head here?
Nah, they would take Durant. They would take DeMarcus Cousins. They don't look like Larry Bird.
Sarah? We've been home. We're going to take a break right here. Buy or sell is next.
Okay, we'll take it at that. At least we have one troll tomorrow.
Jake O'Donnell, and I just got another idea from Minahan, so I think we're going to have multiple trolls tomorrow. I think it'll be a troll-friendly Friday.
Troll-friendly Friday, and Mike Mutnansky in.
A free-form, shitty story Friday.
How was the overall Vegas experience?
It was good. Great time, yeah. Awesome.
Any other thoughts on it?
My low moment, Jerry, was Saturday afternoon where I bet on harness racing in Yonkers, New York. That was a low moment for me on Saturday.
That's a low moment for anybody.
College football in the sports books is an awesome experience.
That sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it, Jerry?
See you tomorrow.
Andrea Obston, president of Andrea Obston Marketing Communications in Bloomfield, knows good communication skills when she hears them, like at Tab Computer Systems.
When we call Tab, there's a very organized process. We get someone in customer service, whether it's on the phone or via email, who gives us an almost immediate response. I never feel like I'm not being heard by those customer service reps.
But for Andrea, it's also a matter of people skills.
Every one of the technicians, whether they come here or they deal with us on the phone, they deal with us remotely, they're very personable. They'll joke around with you if you're in the mood. They'll sympathize with you if you're ready to cry. And they're very efficient. They're very effective. And I feel like they really care about my business.
For Andrea, Tab is the complete package in computer services for her small business. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.